I think as almost all people do, they have this sort of like moment where they're like, wow, I'm getting older. You know, I've got kids that are going to like outlive me. Do I even have 20 years left in the tank? You know what I mean? And they have this moment and they say, what really have I done that's going to leave an impact? You know, I've done plenty for me, but what's going to happen for the next people? You know, it's not my place to question anyone's faith, but I don't think that Trump was, for the most of his life, truly a Christian. I don't even think he was professing to be.
He wasn't a leader, for sure.
Certainly. And I think you're right, where he had this sort of moment. And, you know, like, hopefully he did have a literal come to Jesus moment. But I think, for the sake of metaphor, I think whether he's Christian or not is besides the point. But he did have this sort of like, what am I leaving for the next generation moment? But I think that comes with that is like when a person comes to Jesus, they're not like on the same level of experience as a Christian as someone who's been Christian for many years. Yeah. So I think he had this almost like spiritual immaturity. And he thought the best solution for his problem was to run for president. And I agree. But what happened? The people that are after the president are not on the same page. So he, by the very nature of running for president, was just surrounded with people. He said himself, he almost never stayed in Washington. He was not involved in Washington at all, being a New York real estate mogul. So what happens? All these people that he's not familiar with come flooding to him because now he's the president. And they are, and he's basically, because he's in a state of spiritual immaturity, he's seeking counsel, but who he's getting it from are the wrong people, which is why I think we've seen a change in him. His heart is in the right place, but I think his intentions, his goals have been manipulated.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. It's almost like, in Washington, the Last Supper is 11 Judases and one Thomas. So that's what he's dealing with. But, you know, contrasting his come to Jesus moment versus with Joe Biden, see, I don't think Joe Biden ever had a moment. You know, Joe Biden maintained that thuggery, maintained that egocentricity, maintained that obsession with his own self right till the end. And so, again, I understand what you're saying. I really hate to judge other people's faith or even their motivations, but better late than never. It's kind of like the guy who's been working at the soup kitchen, you know, helping people for 30 years in his local community. He's doing a lot of good missionary work. Trump doesn't have that option. But maybe he's thinking the best I could do is have one major impact. Let me do what I can. I can't save every starfish, but I can inspire people to go out and save starfish. So what I like about Trump is I think he's been honest and real. He's accepted his flaws and his foibles, but he's trying to make the best of what he can do now. He can't change the past, but he seems to be all in to leave a legacy that will be, worthy of Mount Rushmore, as opposed to Nancy Pelosi, who thought Joe Biden belongs up there. You know, what a yin and yang between the Biden administration and this. Even if Trump isn't perfect, even if he's got a lot of work to do, even if he has too many Judases in his cabinet,
I like that.
It's still a lot better than it was.
I like that. The Last Supper with 11 Judases and one Peter or Thomas.
Yeah, one Peter or Thomas.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But